Brazil is the biggest theft in the world, with about 160 million Brazilian reals equivalent to 70 million US dollars stolen. The craziest thing about the stolen amount is the way it was stolen by digging a huge tunnel, and the story of this theft is what we will talk about in this episode. The robbery of the central bank in the Brazilian city of Fortaleza looks like a movie. The thieves dug a tunnel about 80 meters long from a property they rented to the central bank's vault. He was a 26-year-old thinker and innovator Luis Fernando Ribeiro. This theft. In May 2005, Louis and his team of 25 thieves rented a commercial property relatively close to the bank. But their plan to dig a huge tunnel extending to the bank's vault means that there is a lot of dirt resulting from the excavations, specifically about 30 tons of dirt. So they made an announcement their property as a gardening and landscaping company. In order to make this company look real, they put up a sign advertising their company. They put up artificial turf. They buy a pickup truck. They advertise the company on the side. They park it in front of their property. They even go to every house in the neighborhood, introducing themselves and declaring that they are the new gardening experts in the neighborhood. After their made-up company became sufficient to cover up their excavations, the thieves began digging using electric saws, cutters, GPS, and a shovel, and succeeded in digging a 4-meter-long tunnel directly below the property. Then they began digging towards the bank. And it can be said that the tunnel was an engineering masterpiece. As it succeeded, the thieves dug a tunnel 80 meters long and about a meter wide. The thieves covered the tunnel with wooden planks. They even installed electric lighting and a system to purify the tunnel's air. The police estimated that the cost of constructing this tunnel amounted to about 200,000 US dollars. On the evening of Saturday, corresponding to the 6th of August of the year 2005, the thieves penetrated a wall that was reinforced with steel, with a thickness of about 1.2 meters, and thus they became inside the bank's safe. After that, they transferred money weighing 3.5 tons through the tunnel to the rented property. There they put the money in cars equipped to run away. They left the house. Of course, the bank employees didn't know what was going on until they got back to work on Monday morning, when they found an empty safe with a big hole in it. But what was even more surprising was that the alarms and security cameras weren't working on the day of the robbery, and the bank employees also found empty cans of energy drinks, which thieves used to drink to carry out their mission. This theft was bad news for the Brazilian government, because the bank that was robbed was the central bank. So the Brazilian police made every effort to identify and arrest the thieves. But the thieves were adept at hiding their traces. As the investigators found a large amount of chalk throughout the tunnel, the thieves used it to cover their fingerprints. But despite this, the police managed to uncover a few prints. The second mistake committed by the thieves occurred the next day, when one of the thieves bought several trucks at once and paid the price for them in cash, which attracted the attention of the authorities directly and enabled them to arrest him. The bank helped the thieves, as revealed the cooperation of some corrupt politicians. The police eventually led a long and bloody campaign to catch the thieves and succeeded in arresting 36 people, 26 of whom were sentenced to prison for committing 133 crimes, and most of these had nicknames such as Armadillo and Big Boss and the German. But despite all these efforts, the authorities were unable to recover only 8 million. In the end, Big Boss succeeded in escaping from prison and is still on the run to this day. As for Armadillo, he was sentenced to 17 years in prison, but was released after only 2 years. As for the German, he was sentenced to 70 years in prison. As for Luis Fernando Ribeiro, who was nicknamed Little Fernando, was kidnapped, held for ransom, and then finally killed. It seems that even the most successful criminals in history make unforgivable mistakes that lead to their arrest, and it seems that greed, which is often the first catalyst for committing crime, was the reason why all the thieves are caught in the end.